Hello guys, once again it's Matt and today we have another video. Thank you all the members, all the Patreons, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it and continuing the series of videos that I've been doing lately. Basically we're going to talk about another aircraft, but in general a lot of variants of an aircraft that maybe they should receive a new missile or not. So let's discuss it, right? First things first is what aircraft is this? Of course you are seeing on the screen the F-16As, right? We have many variants of it, especially or specifically we have three variants. We have the block 5s, you know, like the nets, and the normal block, the 5s, no, 10, sorry, block 10s, not 5, like the nets and the block 10 that we have in the US. Then we have the block 15s, ADFs, that basically US, Italy, they use these aircraft. And then we have something like the MLU, which is technically a block 20, right? Which is almost a C variant, but not really, you know, it has an upgraded radar and stuff. And of course, I even forgot to say, I mean, we have the AJ, which is basically a block 10, right? But it has BVR. So we have all these variants, and they are in a BR range that we start to see something like the R-73, like the AIM-9M. So should these aircraft receive the F-16A, the AIM-9M, sorry, or something, some missile like that? Well, the short answer is it depends. Because to be honest, guys, with the BR that they have right now, they're kind of fine. I've seen a lot of matches, and this happens all the time when the top tiers start to get populated a little bit more. Down tiers, you know, or not even down tiers, but matches that are not exclusively filled with top tier aircraft. And for a 12.0 aircraft to be having that kind of, you know, symptom in the matchmaking, it means that there's a lot of people playing the lower ranks and these ranks as well, so 11.3s, 11.7s, 12.0s. And the people that are actually playing 12.3s, they're pulling a lot more of the 12.3s themselves, you know, to matches. And you can see that when you fly the F-15, the SMT, the Su-27, etc., the F-16C, etc., right? You can see that there is a majority of aircraft basically just having or just being the 12.3s normally. It doesn't mean that, of course, the matchmaking doesn't pull these lower BRs to the higher ranks, to the higher rank, right? It does happen, of course, all the time. But I feel like playing with the MLD, playing with the MiG-29, the 12.0 BR version, playing with the F-16s, I've noticed that more often than not, at least in my, you know, personal, experience, you see a lot of these 11.0s, 11.3s and stuff. And that might be because a lot of people are just using a lot of premiums from that kind of BR range, which means that you will see a lot of people just grinding the new vehicles, and maybe when that kind of stabilizes a little bit, maybe we will see a lower BR count facing the higher, the top dogs, you know, the 12.3s. But right now, I would say that it very much depends, as I was saying. I mean, yes, I think the MLU should be receiving that, because it is basically an F-16C, right? It is very similar to it in many, many instances. Even the cockpit is pretty much the same as a C variant. Yes, it still has the flight model and everything from the A, but it's just pushing the A to almost be an F-16C, which means that it could be facing the 12.3 BR brackets, right? The only thing is that we already have a 12.3 aircraft in that tech tree, which is the J11, right? So do we even need an F-16 that is 12.3 just because he uses the AIM-9M, or should he actually have the AIM-9M without being a 12.3, being just a 12.0? It's another problem, because maybe you will make other aircraft that it's normally facing in some of the more normal matchmakings, like the 11.0s and stuff that I was talking about, suffer a lot more, right? So it's kind of a divided kind of thing, right? At one point, I think, yes, these F-16s really, or the MLU should be getting the AIM-9M because of the performance that it has and everything. But at the same time, the BR of it is kind of like, well, it is facing lower powered aircraft in sense of meta, right? So it's fine that it has a worse IR missile than the F-16C, for example. But then we have examples like the ADFs. The ADFs are kind of complicated because the ADFs in the American Tech Tree is not really needed because the pilot can just jump and research the F-16C anyway. But the ADF for Italy, for example, is still one of the best, or probably the best aircraft that Italy has. Of course, we do have the AV-8B there that does use the AIM-9M. I mean, let's all be honest with each other, right? It's nothing compared to an F-16 in the sense of overall playability or overall meta of the aircraft. You know, it has, the F-16 is a lot easier to fly, even though the AV-8B can be a very deadly weapon in the right hands. That's the thing, it needs the right hands to be actually a very, very good aircraft, right? If not, it's okay, you know, it's not bad, it's an amazing CAS aircraft, but nothing too far from that. And the F-16 can be a lot more deadly, right? So the F-16 is still the main aircraft that we have in the Italian Tech Tree, and unless they add the Eurofighter soon, we're probably not gonna see anything else being added that it surpasses the F-16 performance, right? So adding with the ADF, especially the Italian one, the AIM-9M, maybe even increasing the BR if needed, would be kind of fair because it would become the top dog of Italy. I think they didn't do that because they are planning to add the Eurofighter, but apart from that, I mean, it would be a very short answer and very easy to do answer of yes, it needs the AIM-9M, right? Apart from these two, the Block 10s, the AJ, all of those, they are kind of like, I mean, the Japanese have the F-15, so they don't need the AJ to be the top dogs that they have, the top dog that they have, because, you know, they already have the F-15, so it's fine. The US already has that as well. The Israelis have already that as well. So I think it would be fine to have a lower BR and a worse missile just because it has a special place to actually play with it, right? So it would be a lot more enjoyable to play on aircraft like that. So yes, it depends. Maybe with the MLU and the Italian ADF we should see something along those lines coming. But to be honest, for the rest of the F-16s, I think it's fine. And it's fun to actually fly in against lower ranks with the AIM-9L still, but having an F-16 at those lower ranks, and that would not happen so often if it actually got the AIM-9M and it got the BR increased, right? So at the end of the day, yes, I would want everybody to have the best missiles possible, but for the logic of the game, I think only the MLU and the Italian ADF should be getting the AIM-9M. Maybe the American one just because the Italian ADF is getting it, but everything else I think already has a perfect place in the game, and I don't think we should mess with that. But let me know in the comments what you think about it. I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye.